Hello everyone, I'm Luke Kennedy and I'm here to guide the middle primary students through their lessons today. Coming up in English, we'll learn about creating an advertisement. In maths, the focus is on how to represent thirds of a collection, and in science, we'll explore the solar system and discover some fascinating facts about the Earth, Sun and Moon. We've had our brain break, so it's time to get ready to learn. Let's begin with English. Advertising is everywhere. You might have seen it on television just now, or pop-up ads when you watch a video online, or the junk mail that's dropped into your letterbox. Let's get some pointers for creating an advertisement of our own.
Hello. We've been looking at how advertisements use persuasive language techniques and visual elements to convince us to buy a product. Today, we are going to apply our knowledge to create the text for our own advertisement for a new imaginary game. Sounds fun, doesn't it? The first thing we need to do is work out what kind of game we are going to sell. There are loads of different types of games on the market. For example, board games, computer games, and outdoor games. I'm going to make my ad for an imaginary board game that I could play with my family and friends. It's going to be called Punbelievable. It's a word game where you score points for making puns. Do you remember what a pun is? It's a play on words that sound similar but have different meanings. One of my favourite puns is, what do you call a bee that can't make up its mind? A maybe. Anyway, who is the target audience for my Punbelievable game? Remember, advertisers market their products to a particular group or groups of people. That way, they can use techniques specifically designed to appeal to those people. I think Punbelievable is mostly going to be aimed at children, but possibly adults who like wordplay will like this game too. What are some of the features of this game that we can talk about in the ad? Well, for each round, players will compete against each other and the clock, so you have to think quickly. You can also collect packs of new Punbelievable cards, so it will never be boring. And it builds knowledge while being fun to play. That aspect might especially appeal to the adults. Let's start with some simple ideas we could use in our ad for Punbelievable. Punbelievable is a new game. Punbelievable is a good game. A range of Punbelievable card packs are available, and your friends might want to play Punbelievable too. Would you want to buy this game? Do you think it's a good advertisement so far? I'm sure we can improve this ad. Let's see if we can take advantage of persuasive language features and devices to make this ad more effective. We could use noun groups, commands, exaggeration, alliteration, rhyme and nonsense words, modal and forceful verbs, questions, facts, and repetition to make the product and its features memorable. Did you notice how Punbelievable is a nonsense word already? I hope it makes children want to buy it. Okay, let's start with the sentence. Punbelievable is a new game. How could you make this sound more exciting to our target audience? We could start with a question like, have you heard about Punbelievable? We could add more descriptive words to the noun group as well. Remember that advertisers use noun groups to connect descriptive words to the product. So we could say, have you heard about the latest new board game, Punbelievable? Is this going to engage our audience? Is it catchy enough yet? We could also use exaggeration. For example, have you heard about Punbelievable, the latest new board game taking the world by storm? Let's look at the next sentence. Punbelievable is a good game. We could try adding some alliteration and rhyme to this sentence. How about Punbelievable is a funny, punny party in a package that will quiz you quickly. Okay, now let's try to make the next sentence more persuasive. A range of Punbelievable card packs are available. Now could be a good time to give some facts about some of the features of the game. How about a series of educational card packs are available? And we could use a fun kind of command like collect them all for hours of hilarious and hair-raising horseplay. For our last go, we're going to improve this sentence to make it more engaging and persuasive. Your friends might want to play Punbelievable too. We will need to make this much stronger by using modal or forceful verbs and commands. This is where the hard sell is really important. How about, all your friends will want to challenge you, so race out and buy this game today before they're all gone. And we could add in a question at the end too, like, do you have what it takes to play Punbelievable? If we put our sentences together, our advertisement is going to sound something like this. Have you heard about Punbelievable, the latest new board game taking the world by storm? Punbelievable is a funny, punny party in a package that will quiz you quickly. A series of educational card packs are available. Collect them all for hours of hilarious and hair-raising horseplay. All your friends will want to challenge you, so race out and buy this game today before they're all gone. Do you have what it takes to play Punbelievable? Look at how many persuasive techniques we can use. Remember, persuasive language techniques are excellent in influencing your target audience, and you can deliberately select language that will get a positive reaction where they will want to buy your product. Now, try creating a new advertisement for a product that you have in your home. It might be your favourite food, or a game, or a toy. Remember to start with some basic sentences like we did together today, and then build it up using persuasive techniques to wow potential buyers. That's all for today. See you next time.
I'm so happy. I'm going to be having a group chat with two of my best friends today. We also love to catch up and have lunch together whenever we can. Everyone takes their turn to talk about what they've been doing and they share their stories. Speaking of sharing, here's Annie to show us how to share collections fairly.
Hi again. My two best friends and I have our own secret flag. Sam's favourite colour is red. Riley's is green and my favourite is blue. So they're the colours of our flag. Because we're all best friends, the colours on our flag are all the same size. Our flag shows fractions. It's split into 3 equal parts to represent our shared friendship. So each colour is 1/3 of the flag. Today, we're going to look at fractions. We will learn about sharing a collection into 3 equal parts, or thirds, and we will also look at comparing fractions. Fractions are equal parts of a whole. We can use fractions to share things equally. We can share a whole into its parts, and we can share a collection into smaller groups. Riley, Sam and I love carrot sticks, so I'm going to pretend that these pegs are carrot sticks that we can all share. Let's see how many carrot sticks I've got in my carton. 1, 2, 3. Now we each have 1. 4, 5, 6. Now we each have 2. 7, 8, 9. Now we each have 3 carrot sticks. 10, 11, 12. Now we each have 4 carrot sticks and my carton is empty. There are 12 carrot sticks shared onto 3 plates. Each plate has 4 carrot sticks. When we share or partition a collection into 3 equal groups, we're making thirds. Sam has 1/3, Riley has 1/3, and I have 1/3 of the carrot sticks. Let's write a number sentence to show how we shared the carrot sticks. 1/3 of 12 is 4. 12 is the whole collection and 1/3 is 4. This is a fraction strip for thirds. The length of the strip is the whole, and we can see that the whole is made up of 3 thirds. Each third is the same size. If this strip represents the whole collection, which is 12 carrot sticks, then each third would have 4 carrot sticks. My friends and I also love cherries. Let's pretend that these counters are cherries that Riley, Sam and I will share. Okay, let's see how many cherries we've got. 2, 4, 6. This plate has 6. 2, 4, 5. This plate has 5. 2, 4, 6, 7. This plate has 7. Have the cherries been split into 3 equal groups? No, they haven't. But if I move 1 cherry from the plate with 7 onto the plate with 5, then each plate will have 6 cherries. I have now shared the collection of cherries into thirds. There are 6 cherries on each of the 3 plates, which means we have 18 cherries altogether. Let's write a number sentence to show how the cherries were shared. 1/3 of 18 is 6. 18 is the whole collection and 1/3 is 6. If this strip represents the whole collection, then each third would have 6 cherries. These are called fraction strips. These are the fraction strips for halves, quarters, and eighths. Notice how each strip is the same length. Each strip represents the whole and shows us how many equal parts are in each one. This one shows us that the whole is made up of 2 halves. This one shows us that the whole is made up of 4 quarters. And this one is divided into 8 equal parts, or eighths. And here's our thirds fraction strip that we used before. Fraction strips are a great way to compare fractions. I can see that 1/2 is the largest and 1/8 is the smallest. I can see that 1/2, 2 quarters, and 4/8 are the same size, and they're all larger than 1/3. I can also see that 1/3 is larger than 1/4 and 2/8. Let's play a game of true or false. We will see a statement and then use our fraction strips to work out if it's true or false. Ready? 1/3 is larger than 2/8. Let's look at our thirds fraction strip and our eighths fraction strip. 1/3 is larger than 2/8. That is true. 1/2 is larger than 2/3. Let's compare our halves fraction strip with our thirds fraction strip. 2/3 is larger than 1/2. So that is false. 4/8 is equal to 1/2. Let's compare our eighths fraction strip with our halves fraction strip. 4/8 is equal to 1/2. That is true. There's one left. 1/3 is smaller than 1/4. Let's compare our fraction strips. 1/3 is larger than 1/4. So that statement is false. That was fun. Let's go over what we've learnt today. We can share collections into thirds by making 3 equal groups, and we can use fraction strips to compare fractions. Do you think you could make some fraction strips of your own? You can search online to find a printable sheet for fraction strips that just need some colouring in. And you could make up some true or false statements about fractions so you can play the game with someone else. Thanks for joining me today. See you soon.
Have you enjoyed the My Place stories on Learning at Home TV? It's when we get to hear from one of the many students living in different parts of Queensland. Here's one for you now.
Galangal Jali. My name is Destiny. I'm a bachelor descendant from the land we stand on. I live in Harvey Bay, and this is where my ancestors were roaming about a few thousand years ago. I attend Urangan State High School. I'm a year 9er there, and my favourite subject is HB. This is Buster. He's been my dog more than since I was born, and he's more than 18 years old, and he keeps me company while I'm at home. Well, I'll let you go now. Thank you for visiting my backyard, but I have to continue my studies, so Nayin bana, bye.
Now it's time for science. Did you know that the moon is the only place beyond Earth where humans have set foot? In 1969, that's 51 years ago, astronaut Neil Armstrong famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Those first steps were a huge achievement for the human race, and it was celebrated around the globe. Scientists from different countries had spent a decade planning, developing and carrying out missions to achieve this incredible feat, and it became known as the Great Space Race. Since those first steps on the surface of the moon, the developments in science and technology have allowed us to learn more about it. Here's Jane to explain.
Take a moment to think about when you last observed the moon in the night sky. Why do you think the moon appears brightly in the night sky? Is the moon actually shining? Does it produce light like the sun? Let's observe these images to find out. Both images show objects that are spherical. The image on the left is the sun, and we can see that the sun is bright orange or yellow. This is because the sun is made of hydrogen and helium gas, which burns to create light and heat energy. This energy travels through space to reach Earth, and we see it and feel it as sunlight. But if we look at the moon, we don't see the bright colours like the sun. Instead, we observe a surface that varies from light to dark grey. We can also see craters. These craters are holes in the surface of the moon that are created when space rocks hit the surface at high speed. The moon does not burn gas to produce light like the sun. So why does the moon appear so bright? Well, the sun's light actually shines on the moon in the same way that it shines on Earth. And because the moon reflects the sun's light, we're able to see it clearly in the night sky. If we were on the moon, we would be able to see the Earth reflecting the sun's light too. Today we're going to explore more about the moon and its relationship with the Earth and the sun. The sun and the moon appear to be the same size when we view them from Earth. Be careful when making direct observations of the sun. Remember to never look directly at the sun, as it may cause damage to your eyes. Are the sun and the moon actually the same size? Let's find out. To help us, we're going to use some models to visualise their size. The Earth, sun and moon are spherical, so we will use spherical objects in our model. Now the diameter of the Earth, which is the distance from one side all the way through the middle to the other side, is 12,742 kilometres. The sun has a much larger diameter than the Earth, 1,391,940 kilometres. This means the sun is 109 times as large as the Earth. The moon has a much smaller diameter than the Earth, 3,474 kilometres. This means that the moon is 4 times smaller than the Earth and more than 400 times smaller than the sun. Well, now we know the numbers, let's try to visualise these sizes using our model. By using a basketball, marble and peppercorn, we can create a scale model. This basketball represents the sun, this marble represents the Earth, and this tiny peppercorn represents the moon. This is a great model and has answered our questions. The sun and the moon may appear to be the same size when viewed from Earth, but the sun is much, much bigger than the moon, 400 times bigger. It seems that I've answered one question, but created a new one. If the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, why do they appear the same size when viewed from Earth? We know that objects that are far away appear to be smaller than objects that are close to us. Maybe if we can find out the distances the moon and sun are from the Earth, we'll find an answer to our question. I'm going to make a prediction. I predict that the sun must be much further away from the Earth than the moon is, and that's why they appear to be the same size in the Earth's sky. The moon is 384,400 kilometres away from Earth, and the sun is 150 million kilometres away from Earth. This means that the sun is almost 400 times further away from the Earth than the moon. There's our answer. The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, but it's also nearly 400 times as far away. That's why they appear the same size. Let's visualise how large these distances are by using our basketball, marble and peppercorn. If I was standing on a rugby field and I put the marble representing the Earth on the try line, and then if I placed the peppercorn representing the moon 1 metre away by taking one big step, we would have to walk 4 rugby fields away to place the sun in the correct place to represent how far it is from the Earth. 4 rugby fields. Okay, let's recap what we've learnt today. The moon does not create light of its own. It reflects light from the sun. Even though the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, it appears to be the same size because it is much further away. We can use different models to help us understand different features of our solar system. Now it's your turn. You might like to create your own model of the Earth, moon and sun. Or you might like to work like a scientist and observe and sketch the moon over the next month in a scientific journal. In addition to the shape of the moon, look carefully and see if you can notice any of the features on its surface. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
It is time now for a brain break. Did you know that to stay healthy, it is recommended that children and young people aim for at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day? Anything that makes kids huff and puff is good. It doesn't have to be all at once though. Smaller bursts of activity during the day definitely count. So jump up and get ready to move because moving matters. And I'll say goodbye because Victoria is here next. Hope you've enjoyed your learning.
Hi, I'm Ryan Lester from the Brisbane Lions, and just like you, I'm stuck at home, but it's important that we stay active. So let's get active now. I'm going to show you a couple of exercises we do at AFL. The first one is a squat to a high mark. You can have the ball or you don't need a ball. Remember, start low, finish high. The second exercise we're going to do is a grapevine step. So move your leg on top of your other leg and move side to side, just like you're dancing. The last exercise we're going to do is a snap kick. This is an important skill in AFL because it's how we kick goals. Start with a flat foot and swing your leg across your body, just like this, 2 or 3 times each leg, and you'll be ready to dance later on with mum and dad.